So I'm just gonna go over what he has shared, and people who joined yesterday, probably you can share your personal thoughts. And after hearing his lecture, what plan you have, or have you done the homework he gave it to us, right? So something we can share at the end of the slide. Okay, so if you haven't heard Jason Sim's story, long story short, he usually mentioned before ATOMY, he was poor, really poor. And after ATOMY, now he's really enjoying the freedom of time and freedom of the financial freedom. How he was poor, he showed us, I forgot to take a picture of that. He's a father of four. He's a father of four, but when the 2008, the financial crisis happened, he literally like kicked out from his home. And that's when his fourth child was just born. And he was really, with his wife, he was really making the ends meet. No money saving. He makes money, just pay the rent, and just find the money to just eat for the family. So every day he struggled to meet the ends meet until he meet ATOMY. When I saw this slide, I kind of agree because that's something I shared with one of my partner yesterday. ATOMY is amazing. Even Cheryl mentioned it during her VOD. ATOMY is amazing tool, amazing product. We have everything. We have a success system. But the question is, do you want to become successful? Not just in ATOMY, do you want to become successful in life? Because when you meet people, there are some people really comfortable where they are. Aeri, I'm okay. I'm good right now. I don't really expect anything more. I'm okay with the car. I'm okay with the job. So doesn't matter how amazing ATOMY is, if they don't have a desire to become successful, ATOMY doesn't really mean anything. Doesn't matter how we go crazy explaining ATOMY to them. If that person don't have a desire to become successful, ATOMY is meaningless to them. So when he mentioned about that yesterday, I kind of agreed 100%. And that's something I really want to empathize today too. If people don't have a desire to become successful, don't really waste your time. That's something that Jason said, don't really waste your time until they find any desire to become successful in life. If they want to become successful, yes, we can present ATOMY as the tool to become successful. But even if they don't have a desire to become successful, then ATOMY, you know what, to stay as a good consumer. Even if you stay as a good consumer, it's a winning situation for all of us. And next one, there's something we know already, but he explained it in a bit of an interesting way. How to be successful. Do you have a rich parents? Do you have a rich spouse? He said, if you have a rich parents, rich spouse, probably you won't be in the Zoom meeting. But how are we gonna be? How are we gonna be successful? We have to make ourselves rich, and we saw this. You know, cash flow. The quadrant of cash flow, which is introduced by Robert Kiyosaki. You'll know that he's the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then I know there are so many VOD talking about marketing explained by Robert Kiyosaki and how to make money, how to make investment. He's the one he introduced this one. Usually you see in a 4 quadrant. And how are we gonna be making money with ATOMY? We become the business owner. We own the business right now. What type of business we have? It's a global online shopping mall. Sharon mentioned it earlier, with no overhead cost. Imagine you own a business. It's a big business once you understand it. But in order for you to run this business, you don't need to spend any money. Isn't it a perfect business to run during this pandemic time? It's a perfect business that we found for us to create a passive income. Okay, I really liked when he mentioned about this part. When somebody asks you what is the ATOMY, you don't really know how to answer. You don't know how to elaborate it. Just simple. What is an ATOMY? ATOMY is a distribution company. And I think that's the exactly same thing that Imperial Master Kwang Kim, remember Imperial Master who came last November, the 6th Imperial Master, he mentioned that if somebody asks me, what are you doing? Then, oh, I'm a distributor. Same thing. If somebody asks you, what is it ATOMY? You don't have to mention about Colmar, Carry, this and that. Okay, ATOMY, so distribution company, because there are many distribution company. The company that we know it already, Amazon. What other companies out there? Amazon is the only thing pops into my mind. So ATOMY is a distribution company, but what do they distribute? They distribute absolute quality, absolute price, daily necessary product. I think the key point here, daily necessary product. What if we're providing quality product, top quality product, and with a good price? However, the product, it's not daily necessary product. Product doesn't need by people every day. They don't use it every day. Then probably we won't be able to create a passive income, because there won't be a repurchase purchase. But it's a top quality product with an affordable price. At the same time, it's a daily necessary product. Product needs to be used by everybody in the world. And ATOMY, no money involved. It's a business opportunity where you don't have to input any capital. No membership fee, no monthly quota, no annual fee, no website fee. I know people who did other MLM, when we present this part, they become kind of suspicious, like the red alarm. Like, how can this company run it? And how can you make money without getting any fee from people? But we saw it already. ATOMY doesn't require any capital. Only investment they're going to ask from you, your monthly budget for daily necessary product plus your time. Okay, next slide. I like this part. Everything is easy when you're crazy about it. And nothing is easy when you're lazy about it. And he really empathized it, like through his seminar. He mentioned success is not an option. Do you want to become successful? It's not yes or no. You must become successful. Because as he said, if you don't become successful, how will you able to have a good life? You don't become successful, how will you able to help other people? You have to become successful first, so you'll be able to share your wealth. You'll be able to share your the abundant asset that you have. You'll be able to share to the people who need it. So success is not an option, especially these days. It's very hard to find an opportunity for you help you to become successful. But ATOMY, we found it already. So we must become successful in ATOMY. And I know there are so many stories that he shared yesterday. And I'm sure some of the ladies, I can see them, they're kind of like in tears. They're kind of like wiping their eyes, because he mentioned how much he was desperate to become successful in ATOMY. Not the word success. He wanted to create an income from ATOMY, because like I mentioned, he started ATOMY when he was poor. He needed to provide everything for wife and for children. And he didn't have enough money. When he mentioned that yesterday, I think yesterday was the first time he really kind of mentioned all the details. You know, like when you're really hungry, there's a growling sound from your stomach. He said there's so many times that it happens, and then it really embarrassed him. So he tried to cover that sound. I think even if I just skimmed 1 or 2 meals, I wouldn't have that sound coming. But how many times did he miss his meals? And he even drove 17 hours to look for a partner, but he didn't have enough gas money. So he sleep in the car. He tried not to eat. So all the money he could save, what he did, he put the gas and still on the go and look for the new partners. And that's how he found Eunice Han. Eunice Han is the mother of Martin Han, because we all attended the Zoom seminar for the Martin Han too. And then Martin Han also mentioned about Jason Shim's story, how they were able to meet Jason Shim. Jason Shim drove them many hours. Did they know each other before? No, it was a cold contact. But if Jason Shim didn't drove that all the way and then didn't introduce ATOMY to her, probably Martin Han or Eunice Han wouldn't know ATOMY until now. Jason Shim, when he mentioned about that, I can feel that he was kind of on that emotion too, thinking about all the hard time that he went through. But now, not anymore. He'll be able to provide everything he can provide for his children. Whatever his children's asking, he'll be able to provide for them. everything is changing. Anything that we were, well, I mean, everything we were comfortable before, not anymore. Everything is changing. What we need to do, we need to change as what society's changing. Before, you know, people with the power, people with a strong, people will rule the world. People with a smart brain will rule the world, but not anymore. People who are willing to adapt the new changes, they are gonna be survive. So he made an example with the ATOMY. So with the ATOMY, you know, like we have our own ways doing that, you know, meet people, attending a seminar, this and that. And doing a Zoom meeting or anything online, some people are still skeptical of doing it, not comfortable doing it. But people who are adapting and then they are making changes, they're the one who will survive in ATOMY business also. So who will survive in the future? People who are able to adapt easily. And there are so many long stories. But I think if I share his story, it will be like long. So after the whole session, there were three questions asked Jason Shim, and then he answered from according to his own experience. And the first question was, relationship between sponsor and partner is very important in ATOMY business. What's some are most important lessons you have learned while pursuing this business regarding partners and sponsor relationship? This was the question. And this is something we have discussed many times too. ATOMY is a relationship business. Who's success in this business? It's not the people who are smart or who are good at computer, good with the numbers, who has a great presentation skills. No, people who has a good communication skills and people who have a good people skill. They are the one who will become successful. People with a warm heart, they will be the one who become successful. If people with a good, people with a good speaking skill, or people with, you know, good looking, or people with some capital, or people with good ability will become successful in ATOMY, probably we won't be able to see all those successful leaders on the stage because we've seen it already. All the success people being on the stage, their age group over 60. ATOMY giving the opportunity to people regardless of their ability. And he mentioned, so I kind of wrote it down, like the things that he have said. So he mentioned, so as soon as the question was answered, he said he was, you know, like he was having an argument with a partner, he shouted at a partner, so he actually lost a few partners because of that. But he said, people do make a mistake, but what's important is making a mistake is okay if you learn from it. If you think that you made a mistake and if you learn from it and if you improve yourself, that's fine. I think he's in love with the CEO part. Who doesn't? But he said, if you want to figure it out, what types of relationship that you need to create with your sponsor and partner, he said, think about CEO part. You have to be a humble person. You have to be a humble person. When Jason Shim saw the VOD of CEO Park, or when he saw him, he didn't even notice that he was a CEO of this company, because that's how humble our CEO Hongdu Park is. And the one word he mentioned was, you have to be the person that other people can trust. How can you keep the relationship? The person who you can trust. If you become a person that your partners can't trust, then you'll be able to keep the good relationship and you'll be able to go all the way to the Imperial Master or end of the road for ATOMY's journey. So trust was the key word that he wanted us to have to build a good relationship between sponsors and partners. I truly believe that too, the trust. Even consumers, they're willing to purchase a product we are suggesting all the time because they trust. Some people don't trust me. They always ask a second question or third question and they don't even purchase. But people who's trusting me, they're willing to purchase or they're willing to do anything what I suggest. So I think trust is a key word that we need to keep in our mind. So the person who we can trust, or the people who's sincere. And he always said, look at CEO Hunter Park. You have to become a person like him. And he mentioned this too. Always remember our company motto. What's number one? Choice of spirit. If you follow our company motto, how can you not keep a good relationship? Okay. And second question, was there a time that you wanted to quit in ATOMY? But if so, how did you overcome it? When this question was asked, I thought his answer would be no, that there was no time that he wanted to be quit. But his answer was opposite. He said there are many times that he wanted to quit. Of course, he's a human being. Of course, he will get a lot of rejections. There are a lot of challenges in front of him. But how was he able to overcome it? Whenever he struggled, he said he wanted to see a Hunter Park. He made a comparison like this. So when he's down with ATOMY, which means like his battery is gone. So in order for him to recharge his battery, he wants to see a Hunter Park. And he mentioned, because as you'll know that he didn't do ATOMY like several years ago, he did ATOMY 2010, I think, when ATOMY USA started it. So at the time, there was not many VOD of CEO Hunter Park. So basically, he said he was listening to CEO Hunter Park most of the time, because he said he was driving many different places for many hours. So he will be listening CEO Hunter Park's lecture through audio. But even through audio, he can feel his passion or his heart to make everybody become successful in ATOMY. So that's a suggestion he made it us to do. Whenever you feel like quitting, just watch CEO Hunter Park's VOD. And he said, just watch it every day. Watch every day CEO Hunter Park or Dr. Lee. We will learn about ATOMY. We will learn their wisdom. We'll be able to overcome all the challenges we'll be facing in front of us. So his answer, there are many times that he wanted to quit, but CEO Hunter Park was his recharge battery. And top of that, he mentioned he always go back and look at the goals that he had. Because of course, he written down some goals that he wanted to achieve. And whenever he wants to quit, he look at the goal. Will I be able to quit? No, I need to achieve this goal to make my life happier, not just my life, my whole family's life. And I think I wrote it down something to share. Oh, and when you have a member or any partner, if they say they feel like quitting, ask them to join the system. System is where they will be healed. System is a place where they will be really recharged. Whatever the situation they had, whatever the hard time they had, whatever failure, how many failures they went through, if they come back to the system, which means, one day seminar or center meeting, if they come back, they'll be able to heal within the ATOMY people. So if people, even yourself or if your partner would like to quit, thinking about quitting, ask them, bring them to the system. Within the system, they will be reborn, they will be recharged, and they will have energy to go back and do ATOMY. And I remember one of the leader mentioned to her, seminar is a place where she get healing. It's not the place where she will be learning. That's a place where she go and heal, because before going to the seminar, she probably have a lot of rejections, a lot of hard times with other people. But seminar is a place where she go and get healed. And I forgot to mention one thing about the relationship. He also mentioned about we need to communicate. So for the number one question, he also mentioned we need to make a communication with the partners every day. Talk to your partner, talk to your sponsor. Communication is the key. And this is how he explained. In ATOMY, communication is the blood to this business. And once the blood stops circulating, what happens? You die. So once the communication stops, no business. So that's how much he emphasized the importance of a communication between sponsor and partners. talk to them every day. You have to know what's going on, and then they have to know what's going on. Because he said, as a sponsor, if you stop talking to your partners or your members, what they're gonna think? They probably think that, oh, probably something is not right, something is not going well. You don't want to give that impression to your partners, right? So communicate with them every day in every possible ways. And to the number 3 question, any book suggestion? And he laughed because he said, reading book, any books. And I remember yesterday he showed one book. Actually, that's written by our Dr. Lee. Probably if you haven't seen his video, we know like how wise he is. So he actually came up with a book talking about ATOMY. And so luckily, I don't know how he got it. I was looking for that book too. So actually, Shim got a book of Dr. Lee, and he's reading that book. But he didn't really suggest any specific book, any types of book. Just read, because we all know as a leader, we have to be a reader, because all the information we get it from the book, we'll be able to absorb, and we will be able to share that to our partners, and it will help us to grow